Right, we'll wait for anyone to join us, and then we'll hit it off. There isn't exactly a whole load to go through today, so it should be a relatively short midweek market update. Kind of just touch on a couple of news articles. Again, there's not much. We did receive some inflation figures today, PPI of 1%. Forecast was 0.5. Kind of just indicating that obviously producer prices are increasing, or the basket of producer goods and services are kind of gaining strength. So, kind of in doing so, just linking into the overall prices of inflation, which is obviously our biggest issue kind of moving forward. So you're right, Artemis, no problem. Yeah, we're gonna be diving into a bit more TA today. So if you guys do have any sort of coins that you want us to kind of look at and analyze for you guys at the end, there'll be a section of this live stream where you can kind of like let us know what coins you want us to have a look at, and we'll do our own TA on it. We wanted to also just make everyone aware now that we are trading on KuCoin now. We have sent in the referral link into the group chat, and you will, so if you use that link, you will receive 20% kickback on fees as well. So it's of use to everyone to basically use that link. So that being said, obviously we highly recommend that you guys do use KuCoin, as we will be using KuCoin charts. Again, we have stated this in the message yesterday, so just if you're still yet to make the switch, do make the switch sometime soon, especially if you're in the UK, just because you will not be able to use Binance soon. So just make sure you make that switch, get them funds out of there and into KuCoin, kind of get yourselves used to using the platform and how it works, and obviously apply for that verification, the KYC, the more advanced KYC, just so you have the ability to deposit and withdraw straight from the platform, as that is obviously extremely useful. So, economic calendar, we've got a few figures. So we've got some unemployment and employment sort of figures come out in the UK. Employment change coming down. Okay, unemployment rate staying the same. Claimant count also coming down. Okay, so kind of linking employment change and claimant count together. We've got GDP growth in the euro area, the exact same as the forecast, much lower than the previous. Okay, so a bit of a slowdown there. They are obviously in the EU using different measures in terms of stimulating the economy, so naturally there's going to be a bit of a difference in terms of what's happening in the euro area compared to in the US. But it's just going to be interesting as well in the next 1 to 3 years, even a bit longer, how Europe as a whole kind of come out of obviously the problems that we've are having in terms of the pandemic and inflation problems. But what we were kind of wanted to really touch on is obviously PPI month on month from the US, a lot stronger, coming in a lot stronger. Obviously, it's a basket of goods, and obviously including fuels. And obviously, we're having a bit of a problem in terms of fuel prices and iron, and prices obviously pushing up higher, leading to higher PPI, which will ultimately lead to also higher prices just in the economy in general. Okay, so costs are going to have to be pushed onto consumers ultimately, and in doing so, obviously increasing CPI as well. Okay, so that being said, okay, stronger PPI. We are obviously on the run up now to March, where the US is obviously scheduled for an increase in the base rate, and obviously if we continue to get this sort of these data points and the strengthening in inflation, it just means that they're obviously going to have to come at interest rates in a more hawkish sense, even more than what they're already planning. So obviously at the start it was something like 3 or 4 rate hikes. You had Goldman and other banks kind of stating that there's going to be 5. And now there's talks about being 7 rate hikes this year alone. Okay, so it's more than likely that if obviously inflation persists, that they will have to push rates or interest rates up a lot more coming this year. So with that being said, obviously leading up to the rate hike from the US in March, okay, so what we need to realize when we're looking at charts now is that institutions are obviously going to start pricing in, okay, and then we need to start thinking about what should we be expecting in terms of when that rate hike actually comes, and we could be seeing crypto as a whole almost as an inflation or sort of a counter body in terms of increase costs of credit. Okay, so it could be a hedge against that. So in doing so, pushing up prices in crypto as investment kind of comes in. We did also talk about in the pre-market update in terms of we are not seeing any investment or new investment or big new investment coming into the market. So what you should be thinking is that they're obviously holding off until March. Okay, so March is going to be a very, very big month for us all, or for us that are involved in crypto. Okay, they are holding off for that period and for that decision to see what it's like. So moving forward after March, obviously we're going to see more and more rate hikes. Okay, and at each of these rate hikes, which are going to be coming in consistently, okay, throughout March onwards, it's going to be an extremely volatile period for crypto. So this is almost, well, I mean, January was quite a big month in terms of volatility. This month has been pretty quiet. Okay, next month volatility is going to start coming back right up. Okay, and then moving forward from March till end of year, okay, is going to be very volatile and depending on how the market reacts to that first rate hike, really is kind of going to give you the overall picture as to the overall direction of the market moving forward from March onwards till potentially the end of the year. Okay, so again, next month is going to be a very big month for us all. So let's keep an eye out for it. With that being said, obviously, we need to kind of look at what's happening between now and the first rate hike. Okay, and what we are thinking is that we are going to start seeing a continuation in price falling down, okay, until about March time, where you'll see sort of a bottoming out, potentially some consolidation, and then when that first rate hike hits, you're going to see a very volatile sort of period, and then potentially see prices really ramp up. That is what we are expecting, fingers crossed. I mean, if not, and if prices decide to ramp down, that is okay with us as well. So what has happened more recently in Bitcoin? So we've already spoken about that in yesterday's pre-market update. However, obviously going into today, so we had this period over here. So we had this period over here, right? We can do it like this, where we got obviously a bit of a consolidation period. Bam, 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 bam. Volume picked up slightly, tested the bottom again, and then pushed all the way up. Okay, perfect. Now prices are obviously hit some resistance, which is also in line with this resistance over here. Okay, and if you push it all the way back, you can see some resistance back here as well. Okay, this is quite a bit of a key level on this chart. So naturally, there's going to be some resistance here. Hence why we have gone against the market. So a majority of the market is all bullish, whilst we're going to the other side. Okay, why have we done that? It is because of this very weak volume on this follow-up over here. Okay, nothing compared to the volume even back here, here, or even here. It's weaker than all of this move up and all of this push up here. Okay, we've got a little bit of a spike up in sell side here, and kind of a little bit of a sell side in terms of mixing in between this push up over here, right? So naturally, we're going to go and see a pullback somewhere potentially to the top of this 50 moving average on the 4-hour, if not even further down towards this level over here at 42.5. Before trying to find some sort of bottom. So the way that we're looking at it, so by all means, we're not saying that this is a top now and prices are going to completely go down. We do feel like that's the more likely scenario as things stand, due to obviously the volume and price action. However, prices could quite simply come down here, find support, and then continue up, or even continue up just from here all the way up to this level that we've been speaking about for a few weeks now. Okay, so between the 46 and 48,000 area, where there is a large order block to be filled. Nonetheless, sort of what we're thinking of happening is prices to come down, test this order block over here, test this level. Okay, potentially find some support, push up, find resistance, and then continue coming down. Prices could actually still push up a little bit more, find resistance at one of these levels over here, okay, before then making a larger fall to the downside. So that's kind of what we're looking at in terms of Bitcoin. So if we go over to the total crypto market cap. Okay, we are at this order block just here, right, and it's found some nice resistance over there and actually making a bit of a pullback. We also need to notice that obviously we've got increase of some picking up in volume in this area over here. As you can see, just from taking a quick glance on the right hand side at our watch list, is the fact that you can see a lot of green, a lot of quite large sort of percentage points in the alt market. The alt market has been kind of pumping up. Whilst Bitcoin's kind of been almost in a little bit of a range actually. So we've got this order block just down here on the hourly that ideally we want to see prices to come down and test that out. As you can see also, it's in line with this level over here. Okay, we've got this order block down here that's not been tapped into as well. So we could actually see prices even come down here, if not at least to this level over here. Okay, before kind of making a push up higher again, and then testing resistance out. Again, we are looking more bearish than bullish even as things stand from most recent price action. So something to be kind of mindful of. Okay, again, like we said, DXY was going to be a bit volatile. We have got all of this Ukraine-Russia sort of stuff going off again. So just from these headlines over here, as you can see, Boris Johnson proposes stopping Russian firms from raising capital in the UK. And from the offset, really, that's kind of how the Western sort of world are going to be tackling sort of Russia. They're going to be trying to obviously restrict them as much as possible, so that they find it difficult to go about their day to day. Russia said today that they were pulling back troops, but Biden announced that they're still waiting for obviously signs of that happening. But who really knows what sort of the tactics are really? Are they saying that they're pulling back troops to basically restructure how they're going to attack? We don't know really. Or is it just a genuine sort of, right, yeah, there's not much that we can do, we're gonna just get out of this. It's one of those that we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on as it develops, as it will have a large impact on the market if things do decide to kind of escalate quite severely. So DXY overall kind of pulling down now. Okay. We've been in this range, so we were in this range over here, pulled down below, then kind of got this nice leg up, then counteracted by a leg down, and now actually looking bearish now, so prices to be coming down. We're at this level over here, there's a lot of volume. So if prices fail to break this 96 floor, then we should be expecting the DXY to actually start falling down. So hopefully you can find some support relatively soon at this level, maybe all the way down to about 95.5, and then make another attempt at obviously breaking that top. However, if it fails to do so and actually breaks this 100 moving average, then we can expect it to come all the way down to at least about 93.5. So between 94.5 and 93.5, which should actually prop up crypto in general. Okay, so one to kind of keep an eye on. To kind of give us an indication as to where things are going. Bitcoin dominance is now falling down. Looks like it's going to find support relatively soon, okay, and prop back up as well. Should be looking realistically at a move towards around about 96 to 97%, hopefully, if it can stick to this level over here. We've got this gap, which will need to be filled up, so potentially finding support around this 41.5 to 42% dominance before making a move back up. But yeah, so in terms of TA, things on, I mean, we made a little bit of a break. Well, let's get rid of some of this stuff. So we've even got this cross coming in here as well. So we got the 100 moving average about to cross with the 200, which actually is bearish. Okay, so something to very much keep in mind of. We got tests of this level over here. Okay, and we've got a retest that actually made a lower high, which is extremely bearish. And now we've got this prop up here. Okay, so we can even push up all the way to this point over here and still look very, very much bearish. Okay, so we could see that sort of play out in terms of getting a prop up here, test, and then come down. So this is our trend line, okay. Ideally we want to stay within that, really. Okay, so we could get a fake out. Okay, we could see prices push up all the way here and then wick all the way up, wick on the top, and then come back in and then fully plummet down. But ideally we want to stay within this. Obviously it's something that has been sticking to for since November, so we want it to stick to that for it to continue to fall down. If it manages to break, okay, come up all the way up here, close above this level, test, essentially then come down, test this level over here, then we'll be looking at kind of the outlook in terms of prices recovering and pushing up higher for bit of more of the longer term in terms of the next month or two. So we are at quite crucial sort of levels right here. Volumes obviously picked up from this point, breaking up, so it's going to make an attempt at pushing up higher. Could see a test of this level over here, and then actually pull back, if not pulling back from its current level right now. So yeah, we are at resistance right now. We want to see a test of this level over here, 1.91, as obviously support. If it breaks, it will be coming down to obviously these levels over here. So it's just the case of obviously keeping an eye on the structure that prices are going to be creating in the next few days. To kind of indicate to us where or what direction we should be more inclined to be going in as kind of time moves forward. I go back on Bitcoin. There's a lot of distribution occurring. Very, very minimal accumulation happening. So we'll see when this comes down, goes into its accumulation sort of phase. We'll see how much is accumulated at that point. So what's that? Probably going to be within this week that it hits sort of that accumulation phase. That's when we should be looking at how deep it kind of comes down. If it can counteract this huge amount of distribution that's occurred all the way from back here, okay, so they were distributing all the way on this whole move up, right? We're even accumulating on that move up. So all of this is just distribution, right? We're getting very minimal amount of accumulation happening. Distributed huge amounts on this move up here, okay, and distribution's actually kind of increasing. So we could see a little bit more of a push up, where a bit more gets distributed, a bit more gets sold off, okay, before really coming down hard. And we've already got the 100 moving average crossing with the 200, and it's well within that period. So as long as it sticks to this order block here, we will be coming down, and we could come down heavy to the point where we are breaking this level over here, okay. And we did say, so when we got this test over here, we did say that we want to see another test of this level over here for it to really materialize and tell us that that is the bottom. We want to see a strong test or a strong retest of this 32 to 30,000 area before calling that the real bottom, okay. As you can clearly see, we've got no volume on this test over here. We made it to what, 33,000. So we want to see another test over here with a prop up in volume, something like this over here, okay, to really indicate to us that that is the bottom. Prices are now going to be in recovery mode. If not, we could very much see a straight break, just because, again, minimal volume at this level. So we'll see how things react, but again, we're looking between 20,000, but so below 30,000 we'll be looking between 20,000 and probably about 24,000 as the next sort of bottom out area. But yeah, so it's kind of what we're looking at. Things are still very much bearish. However, obviously the alt market is kind of pumping up. Reason for it is because the alt market, and if you have a look, if you go on all the alts sort of charts, you see that they are all extremely cheap. They've fallen down by a whole load, okay. So naturally, if you have a look, obviously Bitcoin dominance is only holding 43% of the market, so 57% of the market is controlled by the altcoins, so they hold more of the market share. So putting together cheap prices, more market share, where Bitcoin's actually consolidating, okay, so it's not really done much, okay, so it's at a range and it's just pumping either way. That's going to pump up the altcoins, okay, so that's going to form structure in the altcoins that's going to kind of exacerbate the moves. So that's why you're seeing double-digit percentage sort of point moves in the altcoin market. With that being said, it's still within bearish structure, so it's just trying to entice people to kind of get in. I think it's the bottom before really pushing things down again. I do not see this as the bottom whatsoever. I still see another test. I want to see another test of this 32 to 30,000 price level before making a move up, or even at the very least 36,000. We need to see a solid test where volume is now being pumped straight in. And realistically, if we didn't get sort of attraction in bulls at this level over here, okay, we want to see another test. So putting beneath this test over here, tapping into all of this liquidity at this level over here, right, where it could kickstart that sort of bullish sentiment, as obviously it's below this level over here where the liquidity, there's a lot more liquidity to be tapped into. And if we get the same reaction as we got over here when it tapped this bottom, okay, then you can then start really expecting that prices will be coming down to these levels over here. However, this is a very strong level, okay, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that when prices do come down to this point over here, that they get a reaction, a bullish reaction that we want to see, and then prices really can start flying back up. But we want to see a strong reaction with strong bulls coming in, new strong inflows of volume and investment. That's what we want to see. But again, this is probably not going to be happening for until March. So realistically, if we say, look here, so March starts here. I think the first rate hike is something within the first week or so, or second week. So we've got all of this sort of period. Let me kind of make it larger. So we got all of this period over here, and if you could just imagine, so we're on the daily chart. Price moves up, bam, 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 comes back down, okay. Let's say pushes back up, bam, and then really comes down. Okay, that's a good time frame to kind of solidify, make that move down, wick up, and then really push up from there. That's what we kind of want to see. 28 days we got roughly. Okay, so the next 4 weeks. So next week, ideally, really, we want to see this being completed, and then in short for all the way down until March. That's what we're looking at. And ideally, that's what you guys should be looking at too. But yeah, so in terms of that, that's our analysis, our Tuesday market analysis. Obviously, getting a little bit of a pop up in volatility this week, which is great. So let's just see how things kind of continue to react. But again, so we've got a strong bit of buy volume coming in here. However, quickly reacted with a sell-off. Okay, so tested once, tested twice, went up for the third time, failed. So you can consider that this is holding a lot of volume over here. Okay, so this volume here is not enough, is not going to be enough to break this level. We need to see volume pushing up. So we got this volume coming here and it failed to even make that touch. Okay, so this volume here is no way near enough to make any sort of significant break. Okay, so you're just going to get a huge sort of rejection. The prices are just going to come down. But yeah, so that is us finished. So if you guys got any questions or want us to do any TA on any crypto, please let us know in the comments. We'll give you guys a minute or so just to type it out. If you guys got no more questions, amazing. Thank you for participating. And we shall see you on Thursday for another one of these. Obviously keeping you guys updated throughout the weekend, moving forward from Thursday onwards. Right, perfect guys, thank you. Yeah, thank you for listening. We shall see you on Thursday. Take care.